Hey family, I'm Sienna. Welcome back to Life Lessons at the Crossroads. We've talked about purpose, identity, and even waiting. But today, we're talking about forgiveness. Not the easy kind, the deep kind. The kind that costs you your pride, your pain, and your right to hold on. Because if we're honest, some of us are carrying pain that's been packed away for years. A wound from a parent, a betrayal from a friend, a moment we never got closure for. And we think that holding on protects us. But what if it's just trapping us? Today's story is about a woman who tried everything to move on except forgive, until God gave her the courage to write the letter she never thought she'd write. This is a story about letting go of what hurt you so you can hold on to what heals you. Here's today's story: The Letter I Never Sent. Monique had written the letter 100 times. Sometimes it started with rage. Other times, it was sadness, but it always ended the same: folded up, tucked away in a drawer, never mailed. It had been 8 years since she'd seen her father. He walked out when she was 14, no goodbye, no phone call, just gone. And every time someone said, "You should forgive him," she'd shut down. Forgiveness doesn't change what he did. He doesn't deserve that. It's too late. But deep down, she wasn't really punishing him. She was punishing herself, carrying the weight, rehearsing the pain, guarding a heart that never really healed. One Sunday, she sat in church, not because she wanted to, but because her friend begged her to go. The message was about forgiveness, and Monique rolled her eyes until the pastor said something that stuck in her chest. Forgiveness isn't approval, it's release. It's not saying, "You were right." It's saying, "I won't carry this anymore." She blinked, her chest tightened, and without meaning to, she started to cry. That night, Monique opened her journal. She flipped past the old letters, all the anger, all the hurt, and started writing again. But this time, it wasn't for her father. It was for her. "I forgive you, not because you asked, not because you fixed it, but because I'm tired of bleeding from a wound you stopped feeling years ago." She didn't sign it with bitterness. She signed it with peace, and she never mailed it. Because the healing wasn't about him reading it. It was about her releasing it. Monique didn't wake up the next day magically healed. But something had shifted. The resentment lost its grip. The anger didn't shout so loudly, and her smile felt real again. She was still on the journey, but now she wasn't walking with chains. Forgiveness isn't saying what they did was okay. It's saying God's love for you is bigger than the hurt they caused. Unforgiveness doesn't protect your heart, it poisons it. But when you let go, truly let go, you make room for joy, peace, and purpose. Forgiveness is the doorway to freedom. You may never get an apology. They may never own the damage, but you can still choose freedom. Let's reflect on Monique's story. You know, Forgiveness is one of the hardest things God ever asks us to do, especially when we never got an apology, when the damage is real and when the silence still hurts. But what Monique discovered, and what I hope you're hearing too, is this: forgiveness doesn't erase what happened. It releases your soul from being chained to it. See, holding on to unforgiveness is like drinking poison and hoping the other person feels it. It doesn't hurt them, it's hurting you. But God doesn't just tell us to forgive because it's the right thing. He tells us to forgive because He knows what it costs you to carry pain that was never meant to be permanent. And He's not asking you to pretend it didn't happen. He's asking you to trust Him with the healing that only He can do. Ephesians 4:32 says, "Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ God forgave you." God forgave us fully, freely, and completely. And He gives us the strength to offer that same grace, not just for their freedom, but for ours. So maybe today's not about writing a letter you'll send. Maybe it's just about letting go so you can breathe again, live again, love again. You can't change the past, but you can protect your future by releasing what's no longer yours to carry. Forgiveness isn't weakness, it's freedom, and you deserve to walk in it. Thanks for spending time with us today. If this story touched your heart, send it to someone else who might be carrying something they were never meant to hold. And as always, keep healing, keep growing, and keep showing up at the crossroads. where faith meets real life. We'll see you next.